Hallelujah, believers. Should we thank y'all for just being so good? I thank y'all for his power, for his might. You know, it's always good to be in the house of Yahweh. It's always good to see the believers of Yahweh and understand that we're all in it and we're all trying our best to live right for Yahweh. You know, for in 1 Peter, 2nd chapter, verses 2 and 3, it reads, like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation. Now that you have tasted that Yahweh is good. You know, one thing we as believers of Yahweh, we have to understand, the hardest thing about being a believer and being and growing, ingredients for change. Those are things that are hard. Because so many times, especially when you wait for people who may have been on this walk for so long, but you never find out, you never know all the answers.
All right.
And you have to keep yourself open and available to realize that you don't have to walk this walk for 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years. It could be someone who's new in the walk, but Yahweh has given them wisdom, and he's trying to share it with you. So always keep your mind and understand that one thing about growth, spiritual growth, it don't always feel good. Because it's going to reveal some things about you that you might have to deal with. And one thing you got to understand about the spiritual growth, you know, when people begin to speak to you, and that other side of you begin to raise up, you know that's not like Yahshua. You know you need to pray. You know you need to fast. You need to get it right. When people begin to irritate you for minor things, you know that's not like of Yahweh. So as always, we got to understand that the spiritual growth that we go through, it is for our good. It's necessary. That we understand that we're trying to make it home, and it's Yahweh's way of trying to get us prepared to go home. So ingredients for change is not always easy. And you're going to find out in your spiritual walk that if you separate yourself from a lot of people and just pray and just witness on the word of Yahweh, you begin to find out a lot of things are just useless and meaningless. And you just realize that it's all about Yahweh, because you got to realize that people need prayer, that all families need prayer. As believers of Yahweh, we walk the same walk. We are talking the same thing. So we need to encourage one another. It's easy to walk away. It's easy to quit. You just stop and do nothing. But living naturally and spiritually, it requires a level of effort. And in that level of effort, you're going to have some uncomfortable days. And you're going to have a revelation about where you are spiritually. So that's why when I always talk to people, I'm always open to hear what they have to say. It's not that because I've been doing this, I've been walking for Yahweh for a long period of time, that I can automatically discredit what they say. It can be a teenager, but Yahweh gives them the wisdom, I better look at it. Because Yahweh, he speaks to us, he tries to reveal to us that in order for you to realize how good Yahweh is, you got to go out and be tested in the fire. You got to go out there and have that struggle and have that pain and realize in all the things that you're going through. As the song Bishop used to sing, he has kept me. And you realize that Yahweh has kept me. And when you realize that Yahweh has kept you from all hurt, harm, and danger, you know, then you realize that you have a relationship with Yahweh. So as believers of Yahweh, we have to understand that we got to crave for that milk. In other words, we got to crave spiritually and keep on growing, and don't think where you at is enough. Because there are a lot of unforeseen forces that we haven't been exposed to.
That's right.
And I'm just telling you, at some point, it's going to come your way. We all got to be prepared for it when we see the demonic forces that are darker than dark. And it begins to outline, you realize your spiritual walk, how much it really cares. And you begin to realize and put in perspective, this thing is real.
All right. You
can't tell people, you can't challenge people. All you know is based on your experience with Yahweh, you just live your life. And you go out there, cry loud and spare not. And the main thing is you stand on Yahweh's word. And when you're wrong, you do things that are not in the best interest of representing Yahshua, it's okay to say I'm sorry. It's okay to say, you know what, I had a moment. But Yahweh is still good. So learn to grow in the pain. Learn to understand in the struggle there is a lot of gain. on the other side of our spiritual walk. So as believers of Yahweh, it's understand that the ingredients of change, that sometimes there is bittersweet, because you're growing at the same time, but yet you're going through the fire. But you just realize through all the times when it gets difficult, and you say you can't bear it, don't worry. Yahweh's going to carry you through it. So you just keep on praying, you just keep on fasting, you just keep on hanging in there, and you let Yahweh fight that battle for you, because he's bigger than us. He is Yahweh. We are not. And we need to understand that Yahweh knows all things. We do not. We're limited. Just because our plan, what we may see today, can be successful, 3 days down the road, that very plan that you put together could very well backfire on you. But if Yahweh put it together and Yahweh see you through, you know good and well it's going to be right. So as believers of Yahweh, continue to fight the good fight of faith and continue to hang on in there and understand that Yahweh is going to fight your battle. And he's going to give you the ingredients for change. You just got to be willing to accept it. And we begin to reveal to you that you're not where you think you are. Just say, Yahweh, I thank you. Because like everything, like a little child, you got to be like a little child. You got to absorb the word of Yahweh and understand change is a little difficult. Change is uncomfortable. But change is also good when it comes down to eternal life. So I thank Yahweh for the believers. Continue to be strong in Yahweh's word. And continue to fight the good fight of faith. And continue to pray for one another. And understand that we're only here for a moment of time. Like a mist, like a vapor. And then our life is gone. Let us bow our heads. Yahweh, Heavenly Father, Most High, Precious King. We just want to say thank you once again for your goodness and for your unmerited favor. We thank you, Yahweh, because you have been so good to us, and we just can't thank you enough. Even when we fall short, you're faithful. You're caring, you're loving, and we just want to say thank you, Yahweh, for looking down upon us, for looking down upon the believers, looking down upon our families right now, Yahweh. Oh, Yahweh, just give us understanding that we may, Yahweh, be patient in all things. Give us a love to the Messiah, that we may, Yahweh, strive to hearken unto your word. That we may, Yahweh, proclaim Yahshua to all. Give us strength that we may, Yahweh, continue to pray and cry loud and spare not, Yahweh. Continue to, Yahweh, reveal your word to us. And, Yahweh, just touch our soul. Yahweh, touch our spirit, Yahweh. Just touch us, Yahweh, and lead us and make us better than what we ought to be, Yahweh. Make us better, oh Heavenly Father, and just give us the strength and the courage to just walk in the newness of life right now, Yahweh. Look down upon, Yahweh, the sick, the shut in. Look down upon our young people, Yahweh, and touch them and guide them. Yahweh, lead them and just be with them. And let them know that you're able and you never fail right now, Yahweh. Look down upon our leaders right now, Yahweh. Continue to guide them and lead them. Look down upon our spiritual leaders, Yahweh, that they may, Yahweh, understand that you are with them, Yahweh, that your love will be with them and guide them, Yahweh, that you will lead them by your spirit. Yahweh, continue to look down upon the believers, Yahweh, who are strong in their faith right now. Look down upon, Yahweh, those who are struggling in their faith. Look down upon, Yahweh, those who just can't get it together. Yahweh, just make them and mold them what they ought to be right now, Yahweh. Just give us all strength. And just give us an example of what love is, Yahweh. Guide us, Yahweh. Deal with us all right now, Yahweh. If we may, Yahweh, grow in your word, Yahweh, grow and understand that you are able to do all things right now, Yahweh. Just keep us all. Let your spirit, Yahweh, continue to reign upon us and just lead us. Yahweh, just speak for thy servant hearers. We just want to say thank you, Yahweh, for blessing the sick. Looking down upon those who are alcoholics, the prostitutes right now, Yahweh. Look down upon the broken up homes right now. Look down upon the homeless right now. For those who have no food to eat right now, Yahweh, we just want to say thank you right now for just looking down upon the people right now, Yahweh, and keeping them and guiding and making provisions for them right now. We just want to say keep us all and just guide us. And keep us, Yahweh, for loving spirit, Yahweh, loving a spirit of humility that we may, Yahweh, do your will. We just want to say thank you in Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Amen.